Is this happening to you? Then you're in the right place for video game training. My name is Azzavhar or Azza. Now let's get into the video. In this video, I'm going to show you how to defeat Laurence the First Vicar on Bloodborne. To activate this fight, you'll need to get the key item, which is called Laurence's Skull. So once you've defeated Ludwig and then activated the elevator and taken that up, if you go back to the lantern, which was Ludwig's boss fight arena lantern, and then retrace your steps to get back up to the elevator, you'll find a key item, which is Laurence's Skull on this elevator. And now when you approach Laurence at the cathedral, the boss fight will now activate. Alright, let's jump into it. So first of all, we'll use a bolt paper and then a beast blood pellet to increase our damage, and then we want to head underneath this arm, charge R2 into the side, charge R2 into the back. He'll then usually jump away. Sometimes you can get behind him and get in some free attacks before he gets into the swing of things, and round about now he's kind of in the swing of things. So with Laurence, he'll usually do either swiping attacks or punching attacks. So with his swiping attacks, we have to imagine there's kind of like a cone in front of him, and we don't want to be in that frontal cone at all times. The punching attacks will just kind of punch directly into the floor, and it's the swiping attacks that are the ones that are more like the conal type attacks. You'll notice that we are using the arena here, so we're kind of like lowering him down one side of the arena, and then when we run out of space, we're kind of switching sides and lowering him back down the other side. That's because we want to make sure we've got space behind us at all times in this fight. And he's got 3 phases, so he changes into phase 2 at roughly around 70% HP remaining, and he changes into phase 3 at roughly around 40% HP remaining. And to get in our attacks, we essentially want to be attacking him from behind, attacking him in the back. So let's give that a go. We'll ideally want to make sure we've got beast blood pellets applied and bolt paper as well. So let's pop those on. Let's bait an attack, see what he does. He's gone for a swipe. We are kind of in the frontal cone at this point, so we want to be out of it. That's why we make sure we've got some arena space for us to escape to if we need to escape. So we're going to get out of there and heal up, get back into position, like so. Then we'll go in for another try and see if we can get some attacks in. That'll do. So we can pop in a few there, but he's probably going to spin around, so just watch out for that. So getting a few attacks there. We've got a head break there, so you can get a visceral, although we missed the chance there for the visceral. So you can break his head, and you can also break both arms. If you break an arm, it'll kind of like temporarily stun him for about 2 seconds or so. And if you break his head, you can get a visceral attack if you was in the right position and got the R1 in time, which we didn't that time. So he's roughly around 50% HP remaining, so he's in phase 2 at this time. He gets a bit more aggressive and unlocks a few extra attacks in phase 2. We can see he's a bit faster, a bit more aggressive. So what we can do is aim for another head break, although we have already just got one, so it might take a while to get a head break. But if you've got a good ranged weapon or something like that, we can also throw in knives, which can sometimes get the head break as well. Might take a little while though to get it. But let's give it a go and see if we can get the head break. And the viscera, it's going to back up, lock back onto the head. Watch out for this dive-in attack. We are kind of smashing through blood vials here, but we should be good. So I'm going to throw maybe a couple more throwing knives. Just make sure to keep an eye on your health and your stamina bars. And then he should be roughly kind of ready for a head break at this time. So I'm going to rebuff myself with pellets and bolt paper. And there's the head break. So then we can get the visceral. This will push him into the next phase. We can sometimes get a few free attacks in there as you kind of like phase transitions. So for this phase, there's a lot of fire. Sometimes you can get struck, sort of like stuck in that lava or struck by that lava quite a few times, so watch out for that. So he's got this kind of like crawling forward attack, which he just did. And he's got this kind of like spewing fire type attack. So what we can do is punish that spewing fire attack quite a lot. So to try and get that attack, you ideally want some distance between you and him. And then look out for his head kind of like doing a weird shake. So just kind of baiting him down this side of the arena. It's still doing the same kind of tactic that we did before, with baiting him around the arena. When he does that, you can also just kind of stand to his side and get some attacks by his side. So we always want to be placing our attacks to his sides in phase 3, not in front and not behind. Always the sides. So if we get some distance, he will either usually do that kind of like crawl towards us, that one, or he'll do the lava spew. So ideally I'm trying to show you the lava spew. Got to get some good distance there. Keeps going for the crawl. You'll know the lava spew when he does it because he gets like a weird shaky head. And for the swipe. And what I'm trying to show you is essentially attacking when he's doing that lava spew is a very good time. Here's the time right now. So kind of gets a shaky head, run to the side of him, and you get loads of uptime on him right there as he's kind of spewing the lava. You can just place yourself by his side and put in absolutely loads of damage. And that is the fight. Keep in mind that obviously there's a lot of fire and lava on this boss fight, so if you've got any armor that's got fire resistance, definitely use that. And Laurence is very, very resistant to fire, so don't use fire. But using bolt attacks or bolt paper does quite a lot of damage to him, so that's why I choose to use bolt paper for this fight. I do have another video that shows you how to unlock the bolt paper at the bath messengers, so feel free to check that out if you want to. This is the weapon that we're using, which is a sword cleaver plus 10. It's got some attack increased blood gems slotted into it, and our character is level 73. There's loads more video game tutorials, boss guides and walkthroughs on my channel. Some videos have just popped up right now, feel free to check them out and give them a click. I've covered loads of games such as Elden Ring, Sekiro, Bloodborne, Dark Souls 3, Neo 2, Ninja Gaiden and loads more. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, thank you very much for watching and I'll see you in the next one.